It will never actually go live. Oh, we're live. It's working today. Now the problem is, well, this is good because this is actually, no, we're using this dumb camera. Okay, well, that'll work, I guess. Maybe I'll try to remember to use that. Remember when I'm graphing, we'll use that. All right, so it's working. All right, so here we go. Okay, there were just a few things that we didn't cover in chapter 2.2. One of them was the function, it's probably going to be easier, equals the absolute value of x. Okay? Now, that's a pretty easy graph because it's just a giant V. Okay? So that's another graph you should know. Okay? It goes through 1, 1. I can draw that very well. Actually, here, I should draw it over here. Should we do that? If we draw it here, then it'll be accurate because I've got a nice thing here. 1, 1. Just like that. Okay? A giant V. Now, somebody asked me earlier today, and now that I'm on camera, I keep forgetting this doesn't work, so I might as well put it off there. It's going to screw me up. Somebody asked me what happens. So let me do a couple of things. If it said f of x equals absolute value of x minus 2, do you guys know what would happen? I should pick on somebody. Who haven't I picked on? I'm sure there's somebody I haven't picked on yet. Such as Alyssa. I haven't picked on you all week. What would that minus 2 do to my v?
Move it up or to the.
It'll move up, down, left, or right. One of those four, right? That is true. It'll do one of those things.
Up or to the right? I'm not sure.
You don't know? Should we vote? Okay, who says it moves it up to? 1? Who says it moves it to? Who says it moves it down to? 1, 2. Got a lot of hesitant hands today. Who says it moves it to the right to? Oh, we got more there. A bunch of people there. Who says we move it to the left to? Okay, majority wins. Okay, it moves it to the right 1, 2. And that's where my v goes. Okay. Now, just for fun, what if I said f of x equals the absolute value of x plus 2? What does that do to it? Moves it to the left, too. So it's the opposite. When it's in the parentheses, I always tell people it moves the opposite direction. 1, 2. That's my v. Okay? And that works with all curves, not just absolute values. And these are not parentheses, but you can treat them kind of like parentheses. If it's in the parentheses, it moves it in the opposite direction, left or right. Now, what would happen if I said f of x equals the absolute value of x plus 2? Up 2. Moves it up 2, okay? 1, 2. There's my v. And f of x equals the absolute value of x minus 2. Moves it down 2, okay? 1, 2. There's my v. Okay, just like that, okay? Works with all functions. If I said instead of absolute value of x minus 2, what if I said the square root of x? Minus 2, like that. Still moves it down to 1, 2. Now I've got a curve. It looks like that. Okay? Works with everything. Okay? So remember, if it's in the parentheses, it moves it in the opposite direction, left, right. If it's outside the parentheses here, outside, moves it up or down in the same direction. Okay? Does that make sense? You gonna ace my test? You know what, I decided we're gonna go every 3 weeks on tests. How about that? You guys cool with that? Fewer tests? Yeah. Okay? All right. Okay, now another function that we have here I'm probably going to cover 2.3 because I was very close. The greatest integer function. If I go over there, it's going to look terrible because the angle will be terrible. So I'm just going to, the problem is I'm going to have to erase this a lot. Is that okay with you guys? At least we got a good camera today. I don't know what happened the other days. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to write this f of x equals, it looks like 2 lines. Okay, this is known as the greatest integer function. Okay, it looks like 2 absolute values on there. Okay, and the idea, so if I had f of x equals 0.5, okay, the greatest integer in that case would equal 0. And so here's how it works. This is also known as a step function. And I'm going to be real honest with you. You will need to remember this for the test and for the final exam, but we'll never see this one again. Okay? So basically, the function, it looks like, this is why we call it a step function, because it looks like a bunch of steps. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so if it's 0.5, it's in between 0 and 1, so it's going to go to the absolute, it's going to go to 0. If it's in between 1 and 2, it's going to go to 1. Does that make sense? So you're just taking the greatest integer. So 0.5, the greatest integer with that would be 0. If it was f of x, or f of, I should have written that, f of 1.5 equals what? What's the greatest integer of 1.5? 1. So these are always going to be whole integers, okay? If I go out here to 1.5, the greatest integer is 1, okay? F of 2.5 equals 2, okay? So it looks just like a step function. It's exactly what a step function is.
It's almost like rounding down.
Like rounding down, yeah. Actually, let me ask you one more question. What would be f of 1.9?
1.
It would still be 1. Yeah, it's like rounding down. That's a good way to think of it. Question?
Will they all be decimals? Will they always?
What's f of 2?
Yeah.
It's 2, right? Because we've got an open circle here, so it's 2.
So no fraction.
Well, 0.5 is a fraction, right?
Okay. Okay.
Here, we'll do it again. F of 3/4? 0. Okay, does that make sense? Can I ace my test? Okay. All right. So that's your greatest integer function. And then I think I already told you this. I told you taught you early. Yeah, I did. I told you this, I think, on the first day of class. But what we talked about the vertical line test. What's the vertical line test?
Check whether or not it's a function.
Whether or not it's a function, right? So, is that a function?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, because no matter where you draw your line, it's a function. How about this? It's not a function because it only crosses once here, but it crosses 3 times there, right? Okay? Is that a function?
Yeah.
No. Crosses twice. Okay? Vertical line test, super important. Gosh, that was easy. That's the end of 2.2. Let's move on to 2.3. God, this is actually nice. I'm actually going to use this graph for the first time. They never stick me in a room like this before. Okay, I'm going to try really hard to draw this graph. I don't know if this is going to be very helpful, but we'll see. Who cares? Okay, so I've got a graph here. Let's say that this represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know some of you in the back of the room probably can't see that very well. Let's pretend that this represents 10, 20, 30. And I say, I want you to find f of 1 based on that graph. I really should pick on people in the front because you guys can see. Tell me your name. Caitlin, I should have known that. We got 3 of you in here. I've gotten lucky. F of 1, according to this graph, is? Yeah, it's pretty close to 10. We'll call it 10. It was supposed to be 10. I didn't draw it very well. How about F of 6? I'm going to pick on, I want to say Skylar.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it right.
Nailed it.
Oh, you're in trouble now. Okay. What's F of 6? According to this graph.
10.
It's also 10. What's F of 3? I'm going to pick on Inoki. Did I say it right?
No, yep.
I did?
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it 30?
30. Very good. Okay. So you can read a graph. That's all that means. Okay. Piece of cake? All right. Question? No? Thumbs up. All right. Let's talk about, based on this, what is the domain? I'm still going to pick on people in the front because you can see it's Logan.
You were close.
No?
No.
What is it?
Landon.
Landon. Oh, close. Landon, what is domain of this graph?
Is that 0 to 6?
0 to 6. So X is an element of, and let's do it in interval notation.
Okay, so it'll be bracket,
Square round. Square bracket,
0,
0,
6,
comma, 6,
bracket.
square bracket. Okay? What is the range? I should know both of your names. Aren't you the Arizona fan? Or you were yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah. You like Arizona?
I serve my missionary, so I'm basically from there.
Oh, you are? Cool. So what's the range? Tell me your name.
Natalie?
Natalie? What's the range?
0 to 30?
0. Tell me about brackets too.
So it would be brackets, square brackets.
Square bracket, 0, comma,
30,
30,
square bracket.
square bracket. And then what did you forget?
I forgot the Y.
Y is an element of. Okay? This isn't too bad. You guys like this chapter, right? It's not too bad. All right. Here's another question. Oh, that doesn't turn that. I'm used to having it on my thing. Okay, so we can't see very much over here. So I'm going to have to write. I'm done with all that anyway. For what values is f of x greater than or equal to 20? And I'm going to pick on you because I can't remember your name. What's your name? What is it?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Okay, for what values is f of x greater than or equal to 20?
Uh, 2 and 5.
2 to 5, so how do we write that in interval notation?
X
X is an element of
square bracket.
2,
2,
comma 5,
square bracket.
square bracket. Okay, what if I had not put the equals on there?
Circle.
Then they would be round brackets. Okay, now it's round. Okay, so you remember if there's an equals, then you just put the equals here and you put a line to connect them, right? Is that helpful? You guys gonna remember that? Okay. All right. Oh, this is good. I'm going to erase this because I want to keep it on the video. Where is f of x increasing? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on people in the front. I really should pick on people in the back, but I know that you guys can see. Reagan, I remember your name. You're in trouble too. Okay? Where is the function increasing?
All the way until, is it 3 or 4 on the graph?
That's 3. Okay? So it's increasing. Well, we're going to keep it in interval notation just to give you guys lots of practice. Okay?
So it would be x is
X,
an
element of
it would be square bracket
square bracket
0,
0,
comma 3,
3.
and square bracket.
Is it square?
Okay.
Kind of turns at 3, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So it's both increasing and decreasing at 3. So should I put a square? You sure? I'm mean like that, huh? Who says square? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who says round? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, majority wins. It's round. Okay? Because it's both increasing and decreasing at 3, right? Okay? All right, so how about this? Where is it decreasing? Okay? We're going to pick on Mauricio, because I remember your name too.
Yes.
You're in trouble. Okay? I really should pick on people in the back. I'm going to get you next class.
So it's gonna be parentheses.
Say it again.
Parentheses.
Parentheses.
3
3
to 6.
to 6. Oh, I got a hard one there.
It's gonna be a square bracket.
Yeah, I think we'll go with the square too. And what did you forget?
X.
X.
And that like E.
That weird looking E. Okay? All right. Perfect. Okay? Good job. I should give you all 5s, huh? All right. Okay? So very good. All right. Gosh, we're doing so good on time. We might finish this whole section today. That would be awesome. I think we've been going too slow, but we're trying to let you catch up. Okay. Oh, let me ask one more question on this. I feel bad that I have to keep erasing. Well, I guess I can keep going down here. Where are local maximums. Okay? I should know your names, but I don't remember. Tell me your name. Me? Fidencio. Oh, I got one of your quizzes. I didn't see your name. Pick it up after class if you want. Fidencio, where is the local max? And in this case, I want you to give me an ordered pair.
That will be 3, 30.
3, 30. And those are, of course, an ordered pair. Okay? How about, I can still go a little bit lower on the video. How about the local minimums? Yeah, you can still see that on the video. Got to pick on somebody. Oh, I already picked on Reagan. Your name is Caitlin too, isn't it? Can you see?
Yeah, I'm thinking 0, 0. I can't see how
0, 0.
6 goes down.
Is that the only one?
I mean, you could do 6, 10, but I would say that 0, 0 is well.
No, I would say 6, 10. Local minimums. Okay, now, since you liked 0, 0, 0, 0 would also have another name, which would be called the absolute minimum. Okay, so 0, 0 is special in that it's a local minimum in the local area, but it's also the lowest point on the graph. But this is also the lowest point in the local area. So we're going to call both of those local minimums. Okay? So we've got 2 local minimums. We've only got 1 absolute minimum though. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. God, we're doing awesome. We're going to finish this whole section today. That's good. We were going too slow anyway. Okay, the last thing that I'm gonna want to do now is I'm going to get away from the graph. Yeah, I'm going to get away from it for a minute so I can use more of the board. I've got an equation here, 2x squared plus 3 equals 5x. No, I don't want to make it equals. We're going to make it greater than. Greater than 5x. No, we'll make it equals. I changed it around. 5x plus 6. Okay? Now, the book wants you to solve this 2 different ways. Okay? Solve algebraically, which is my preferred method. Algebraically. Okay, that's my preferred, and it's the one I would recommend, because usually I don't have a nice graph like this. The other one is to solve graphically. Now, this is not my preferred method, because usually I'm freehand drawing these, and then you're like, oh, I don't know what point that is. Okay, but I got this nice graph. So we're going to do it both ways, hopefully in the next 6 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to pick on somebody in the back, and I'm going to pick on you in the tie, because I can't remember your name. Derek, can you help me solve that algebraically?
Yeah, so you're gonna want one side that equals 0.
Well, one side to equal 0. So we're going to, okay, I don't need that. We're going to subtract the 5x and the 6, right? Minus 5x minus 6. So I've got 0 equals
2x squared minus 5x minus 3.
Minus, what did you say? 3. Okay, and then what?
And then you just factor.
We're going to factor it. Factors of 2x squared are?
1 and 2.
Yeah, 2x and x. That's what you meant. Okay. Factors of 3.
3 and 1.
3 and 1. Where should I put the 3 and the 1? What should I put here?
The 3 is there.
3 is not there.
No, the 1's there.
The 1's there, and the 3 is there. Now, if you don't know, you can always practice. We're going to FOIL, okay? The reason why we want that here is because 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times x is x. So I've got 6 minus 1. I can get a 5 out of those if I get my signs right. So is it positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative?
Positive, negative,
Positive 1,
negative.
negative 3. So this is negative 6x plus x is negative 5. A positive times a negative is a negative. So he nailed it. Okay? Who's studying with Derek tonight? Make sure you get your factoring down. Okay? He's like, no, man, don't trust me. All right. So we've got, so we can solve this 2x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. So therefore x equals, we'll let you finish this off, Derek, make you a superstar.
Oh, yeah, so one of them would be 3.
So x equals 3, subtract 1, 2x equals minus 1, x equals
Negative 1.
negative 1/2. Okay? So that's one way to solve this. Okay? And I would say that's my preferred method, and that's the method that you, if you have to choose, that's the method you should choose to learn. Okay? Now, it also says to solve this graphically. So since I've got this nice graph, which I'm using for the first time, okay? Now the question is, what does that look like? I don't like this. I don't think I would solve this graphically, but we'll do our best, okay? It would be better to use a graphing calculator because then you can know. But what does this side of the equation look like? And let's pick on you. What's your name? Huh? Din. I was going to say that. I really was. I promise.
So that's going to look like a parabola.
It's going to look like a parabola, and this is going to look like a straight line. That's going to be easier to graph, right? How do we graph this one?
You move the point up 6.
Okay. I should have, I realized I'm pointing off, and I was off camera, but we're going to first graph y equals 5x plus 6. You said go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. My slope is, I'm going to rise 5 and run 1. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1. This is where I need a straight edge. And I'm going to draw this here. Hopefully that's pretty straight. Okay. Now we've got the other side of the equation, and I'm going to write it here. Y equals 2x squared plus 3. Probably should have picked a different color. Okay, well. Okay. You said that's a parabola. It's shifted which way? Up 3. Okay. So if we go from the center here, 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's where the vertex is on the parabola. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit because we know that it's going to cross in 2 places. Based on the algebra, sorry, I'm not used to that. Based on the algebra that we did previously, we know it's going to cross at x equals minus 1/2 and x equals 3. I'm going to use that because I don't trust my graphing skills. This is another reason why. So it's going to cross at minus 1/2, so it's going to look something like that. It's going to cross right here at minus 1/2. Okay. It's also going to cross at 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't even draw it far enough. Okay, that's where it's going to cross. Okay. So I'm going to draw this here. And I didn't draw that very straight. Whatever. Close enough. Even with graph paper, it looks crappy. Which is why I don't like to do the graphing thing. Okay? Now, so you can see that it crosses at negative 1/2 and at positive 3. And so you can see those 2 points there. Okay? I really don't think, you're probably going to have some homework. You should be able to graph both of those and understand those. Now, the only other thing that I want to ask you, and I know we're out of time, what if instead of the equal sign, I had a greater than sign. Okay, basically this is telling me where is the parabola greater than the line. It's greater than, looking back at the graph, it's greater than the line here in this area, and it's greater than the line here in this area. You see that? And if it was a less than, I would shade this area here. Oh, yeah, we're on the video. I would shade this area here. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so we were lucky. We not only finished 2.2, we finished 2.3 today. Quiz Monday is on the rest of 2.2 and 2.3. See you all on Monday.